Hey everyone, welcome to Daily Inspiration with B. I'm excited to reconnect with you, and I'm going to be sharing a little something today about what it's like when you're being judged and how you react to that, and some ideas around that. And I'm going to share something personal that happened to me, making Daily Inspiration a little about my own situation, in the hope that it will help you to see maybe how this has happened for you in the past, or make you more aware of it when it happens to you in the future. So if you're in my community, you might know that I have a fur child, a very beautiful big baby dog, and he is the love of my life, aside from my husband. Don't tell him I said that. And when we came back from our Christmas holidays recently, at the beginning of the year, we discovered that he had been very sick. So he was in the care of a kennels, and he was really, really sick when we arrived back. And he was quite sick for quite a long time and had to have surgery and all these other things. And as a result of that, he lost a lot of weight, like significant amount of weight, and he looked like he was completely emaciated. He was so thin, and we literally thought he was going to die, and we're very, very grateful that he pulled through, and he's doing really well now. But when I was caring for him and he was in recovery and he was quite thin and we were trying to get him to put on weight, and he'd first come home, we wanted to go out to a cafe, and we thought to ourselves, oh, we'll take the dog to the cafe. It would be really nice for him to get out and get some fresh air and lie in the sun and have a bit of stimulation by looking around and seeing what's going on around the place. And so underneath, I was a little bit fearful, if I'm honest, that people would judge me, and that they would judge him, and that they would look at him and think that we were neglectful, awful dog parents because he looked so unwell. And of course, I know the reason why he's looking like that, but other people won't. And so I was worried that I would be judged. So I got over it, and we went to this cafe, and unbeknownst to me, behind me were sitting some people, as my husband was able to see them, who were pointing at our dog and shaking their heads and apparently talking about him the whole time we were there. It was very easy for me because I wasn't realizing that was happening. So I was oblivious, and ignorance is bliss. But what was interesting was we got in the car to go home, and my husband said to me that, the people behind us had been pointing and shaking their heads and obviously weren't happy that our dog looked so unwell and unhealthy and so skinny, and we probably should be feeding him more. And here is what happened. My ego reacted like a roaring lion. Like, I am a peaceful person, and I am pretty good at holding myself together in most situations, and there's not many things that get me upset. But what I realized is this: when someone judges you about something that you are sensitive about, watch how you react like a firecracker. Because there's a very interesting insight in this, which I want to share with you. Why I'm sharing a personal situation is that people could judge me about other things, and it'd just be like water off a duck's back. I would just be like, that's nothing. Like, you can think what you want. It doesn't bother me. You can judge me all day long, and it's not going to bother me. It's not even going to dent me. I'm not even going to give you my time or energy. Because why? Because I'm already confident about that thing. But when you judge me about something that I'm already uncertain about, or I'm feeling a bit nervous about, or I'm feeling uncomfortable about, or I'm already feeling bad that my dog's not well, and feeling a little bit guilty because I wasn't here when he was sick, and maybe I could have averted this situation if I had been there. As our minds go through all of these negative thoughts and scenarios, I'm already sensitive. So then when someone judges me on the same thing, I'm much rawer, I'm much more sensitive to it. And so when we're being judged about something we're already confident about, it's less painful and it's much easier to deal with. So what you want to know is that when people are judging you about something that you're already uncomfortable about and already feeling uneasy about, it's not about them judging you. It's just life showing you that actually, you know what, this is something that you need to get over inside of yourself. The only reason you're super upset about being judged by these people is because it was already a raw nerve. And actually, life's just doing you a favor to show you what your raw nerve is, so that you can resolve it and heal it within yourself and not be so reactive to that anymore. So when you get reactive to someone judging you, I want you to think about that. Why is this so painful for me? Like, are they hitting a raw nerve for me? And how can I bolster myself in that area? And then, you want to forgive yourself for being upset about and reacting. Forgive them for their judgmental ways, because let's be honest, I've made a video about this before. We all judge. You judge, I judge. We do it without even realizing we're doing it. It's almost impossible to be human and not judge from time to time. So you want to be able to notice where your raw nerve is. You want to be able to forgive yourself, forgive the other person. Do whatever inner work you need to do to bolster your confidence and clarity and your positive attitude and mindset in that area where you have been feeling uneasy. And the last thing I would say about being judged by other people and how to deal with it is, and I practiced this when I felt really bad about people judging my beautiful dog, was that you really want to know that usually what's happening is when people are judging, you're like, well, they don't know the truth, and if they knew, they wouldn't be judging, and they don't have any right to judge. And what you need to remember is that the urge is to want to explain to people, to want to explain and justify and get them the facts and get them on the right page so that they're not being judgmental. But the point is actually, I don't have to justify this to anybody. I don't have to explain myself. I know the truth. And as long as I know the truth and I'm at peace with the truth, that's all that matters. So when you're being judged by somebody, remember, the most important thing is not that they understand you, but that you understand yourself. Not that they accept you, but that you accept yourself. Not that they find peace with your situation, but that you find peace with your situation.